You were made to live a purposeful life, and a purposeful life is a life full of faith.
No one ever said life would be easy. Gotta take it one day at a time. Keep holding on to your dreams and keep striving for a better life. When life gets hard, we don't pray to make it easy.
Hey Kiki, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm fine. It's been a while since we last met.
I know. Thank you for having me today.
I am so glad to have you. And thank you so much for everything you do. Thank you for your support in business. Thank you so much for being a great networking partner. And thank you for featuring in the magazine. I know that you took time out of your day to give tips, and I appreciate that. So everybody, this is Kiki, and Kiki is a health, wellness, fitness coach and consultant. So Kiki is part of Upwealth Magazine. She contributes regularly to Upwealth Magazine. And today we are bringing Kiki on to talk about health and wellness in 2023. What habits do you have that you need to change? What about that New Year's resolution? How is it going to go this year? So Kiki is here. So Kiki, tell us more about yourself.
Yeah, so I am an online nutritionist by the label, but I am a jack of all trades. I do offer a couple other services through my business, but primarily I focus on nutrition. So what I do and what I offer is I offer a couple different nutrition programs based off of people's goals and needs. But how I specialize my nutrition program is I fit into each person's life. So regardless of if you are doing keto, paleo, have an autoimmune disease, if you're a woman going through menopause or getting pregnant, and anything in between, also males, young adults getting ready for a wedding to a sport event, I can be that fit for you. The reason why is because through my expertise and my education, I've learned that nutrition is not a one fit all. You have to customize to each person, and the best nutrition program is going to be the one that you can stick to. So that's what I do here. And at the end of the day, I really focus on health first. And then I look at what people are doing and then how to continue to tweak it to improve their health overall. And then, of course, if we focus on our health, what is one of the side effects? Weight loss, which is what a lot of people love. So that will come naturally. If we stop thinking about the weight, stop thinking about the scale, but start thinking about nourishing our bodies. And I have a huge passion for that. So that's why I teach my clients how to treat food like medicine and fueling it. I like to use the term love the foods that love you back. And I teach upon that. But this year, especially this year and going into 23, it's a great question, like how people are making New Year's resolutions. How is it a great way to stick to it? And it kind of goes back to everything people have been hearing. I'm sure you've heard this before, even in personal and business, but what is your why, right? We've heard of this before, motivation, figuring out our values, but it's kind of the same thing in nutrition and also in goal setting. So if you have New Year's resolutions of wanting to lose some weight, wanting to get back in the gym, wanting to have more energy, you need to go back to your roots of like, why is that important to you? What values do you have? Do you have a line of history of your family that is pre-diabetic, have high blood pressure medication? Are you on a trajectory of a path that is very likely to be sick and unhealthy? Do you want to change that path? You want to kind of, step away from your family history and create a new legacy for yourself that's vibrant and thriving. And so knowing your root, knowing where you want to thrive first as far as the values, the why, right? Like, okay, I prioritize this because I want to live longer. I don't want to be in pain. I don't want to have gut issues. From there, you can start making baby steps. So in my world, I really focus on one thing at a time with my clients, and I start small. The reason why we do that is because, like anything else, we get system overload, and we have well, our paralysis where we don't even do anything, right? Have you ever taken on so many things at once? You're ambitious, so you want to be here and there and all that. And you're like, I can do it all. And then all of a sudden, oh my God, it's overwhelming. I'm stressed out. I don't know what to do. So I find that people do more successful when they do it one step at a time. So it's just like as if you were, a baby. A baby doesn't just run immediately. Maybe some right away, but most of us crawl. They stumble. They start to learn how to stand up first, tumble down, then they start to get their first steps, and then before we know it, we're walking and then running. So very similar with nutrition and health and habits is that we need to be able to find one thing that we become really good at naturally, and that becomes a routine, a behavior that you can do pretty almost automatic. And then you start to develop more skills by adding layers and layers. So it's one of those things, and it could be a simple, and here's just a couple examples as far as the one thing. So like you're hearing me speak like, okay, New Year's resolution, I need to know my why and get motivated. Okay, check that off. Two, it's like, okay, what is the one thing I can work on? Well, do a little self-audit. Are you bad about going to bed on time? About getting enough water? Are you, do you stay up late and you don't prioritize going to sleep? Is it, you say yes to too many things when you should say no? How about your vegetables? Are you not a veggie person? And you're like, ugh, I feel like I need to improve that. Or late night snacking, I need to stop at a certain time. It could be very, very small, but very tangible. As simple as giving yourself one extra glass of water that can improve your energy. It can, where our cell function improves, and then you start to feel better, and it's a catalyst. It starts to improve a lot of other things. And another one could be as far as cooking from home versus eating out all the time, and that is a big task. It can be huge. So maybe just one of those meals. If you find yourself, if you're eating all the time out, start prioritizing maybe some snacks, then one meal, and kind of progress from there. It really just depends on you as a person, kind of looking back to see, okay, where are the missing pieces that I want to make better in 23 than didn't serve me very well in 22.
Thank you so much, Kiki. I really appreciate the idea of taking baby steps, because when the new year starts, we have all these plans to accomplish all these things, and we end up doing none. By the time January ends, everything just stops. So thank you. You mentioned something. Can you please talk more about sleep? Because we forget that sleep plays a lot on our body, or the lack of sleep. So can you please talk about that? Because I meet a lot of entrepreneurs who are always, I'm guilty, working and not getting enough sleep. So please talk about the importance of sleep.
Yes. So sleep is, I want to say, even more important than your food. So when people come to me, they're like, okay, I need to eat better. I need to lose weight, or, help me to get through whatever gut issues I'm having. But believe it or not, sleep is so vital to our health that if we don't get enough sleep, even if you're eating well, even if you're exercising and hydrating, you are considered an unhealthy person. Why I would say that is, I know it's kind of big, is because sleep is part of our DNA. Everyone sleeps. Every animal, every human being sleeps, and it's for a reason. It's restoration. Cells need to be rejuvenated. We are exposed to toxins throughout the day, from pollution, in the air, to working out, to things that we eat, things that land on our skin. So we're constantly, in the world of bacteria. So detox happens while we're sleeping. Hormones get released when we're sleeping. So when women are dealing with their menopause state and they're having trouble sleeping, it could be an imbalance of hormones, a lack of magnesium. Other things that happen during sleep is that our brains are still firing. So we're still, neurons are still working, and our brains are taking in what we did today, and kind of just rewiring and getting us ready for the following day. If you are very active, you're a very fit person, muscle tearing happens, and then rebuilding those muscles and kind of extracting all of that lactic acid happens during our sleep. And then, even our gut, part of that hormone release is happening in our gut. So we want to make sure we're not eating close to bedtime. That way allows our body to recoup. So if you think about it, a person that doesn't get enough sleep, they have a lot of brain fog. They're tired all the time.
Yes.
You're more likely to have deal with anxiety, stress. You know, you're triggered more easily. You can also slow down your metabolism. So believe it or not, too, we actually burn. It could be from 400 to 600 calories just by sleeping. And it's like kind of cool. It's like, yeah, right? You're like, wow, I'm burning calories while I'm sleeping. I know. I should prioritize sleep a little bit more, you know?
Yes. That speaks to me directly. I'm very guilty of this. So thank you so much. You made mention of something. You said something I've never heard in the health and wellness sphere. So I'm in the insurance industry, and I hear a lot about creating a legacy, right? And the whole idea of a legacy is creating something for your children, your family members, leaving something behind. But you said something that is pivotal when you said that taking care of your health is creating a legacy for your own body. This is very different. I never looked at it that way, because we're thinking of legacy, I'm doing this for others. But taking care of your health, this shifts a lot for me today, is preventing all of those things that, you know, that could occur when you get older. And so taking care of your body to prevent diabetes, you know, arthritis, whatever it is, and that's enjoying your own legacy while you're alive. So you don't have to die for somebody else to enjoy that legacy. Tell me more a little bit about taking care of yourself to create a legacy.
Yeah, that type of mentality is very rare to find. A lot of us are in this instant gratification moment, right? Like, what's going to satisfy me today? What can I buy that help me solve a problem? What pill, you know, what product? But essentially, we don't think about the actions, the daily behaviors, you know, that we're doing in this very moment can impact tomorrow. It can impact 5 years from now, 10 years from now. I have a lot of clients that I've worked with currently and in the past that were like, man, if I just did a little bit better on my nutrition or my sleep or my water, or I exercised more when I was younger, I would not be dealing with the issues I'm having today. I'm like, absolutely. It is very preventative. If by you thinking about the future, kind of like finances, you know, I want to build wealth in my life. I got to put money away. I got to invest it in something and let that grow over time. Same thing with health. If you invest in it today, it might seem like expensive, but if you look at friends and family or people that are much older than you, that are like going to a hospital, you know, if you really want to look at medical bills, ask a friend how much their surgery was. Or if like how much is the high blood pressure medication that you're on. If you don't have insurance, how much is it going to be? Or with insurance, how much is it going to be? And that's, you know, repetitive payment people are making month in and month out. Whereas if they spend a fraction of that cost today, they can cut out all of those medical bills completely. You know, nothing's guaranteed. And we all know that. Like every day is never, you know, guaranteed either. You can get in a car, get in a plane, something might happen. But the goal is that you're still like, I want to like at least go out on my own terms, you know, like I want to get old and gray and like feeling like, okay, this is my time, not someone tell me, hey, you only have like 3 months to live because you've been diagnosed with like this sort of cancer, right? That's awful. Like people that, you know, and cancers are one of those things that are very spontaneous. I've heard stories of like, it's just crazy. People are super healthy. And then all of a sudden, you know, this pops up. So again, why it's never guaranteed, but if you at least do your 2 cents and you're willing to work on things, you know, that are not asking you to spend millions of dollars, very small, simple, like I mentioned, like just drinking the water, which is very cheap, or going to bed a little bit earlier. That's not going to cost you anything. True. Those are like those catalysts that can continue to invest in your health. That way, as you continue your health path, you can, you know, you can set the example. I love working with moms because now not only are they learning about themselves and how to improve their health, but then the next generation is going to be taught that, you know, the right thing. So it's all about the home too. Like who are you living with? Kids are always looking at the parents. I was taught how to cook based off of my mom. I never took
Mhm.
any culinary schools.
Mhm.
But then once I got into nutrition, I learned that, okay, I need to learn how to put lunch. I had no idea. And, you know, that's kind of, that's what ends up happening. And it's kind of unfortunate. I wish we had like nutrition classes and more home ec
Mhm.
classes in high school. That's kind of gone away.
Mhm.
But being able to have parents that are willing to learn,
Mhm.
you know, I'm hoping as far as that next generation too, that legacy is that they're leaving behind
Yes.
good habits and traditions that now their next, you know, they can pass on generation after generation.
Okay, thank you so much, Kiki. I think we'll have you back on to do a segment on how to convince kids to eat vegetables. That's like a whole segment by itself. Not just kids and adults. Seriously, I'll have you back again in a few months to just talk about. I want to sing a song about vegetables, but we have to figure out a solution. So, thank you so much. I really appreciate your input. I would like you to talk to us about how can we reach out to you? How can we contact you? And please also talk about your book. How can we get your book?
Yeah, so I have my book here, Soul Aligned Business, 25 Strategies for Experts. And this book is a collaborative book. So what's awesome about each chapter is that each profession was able to give their input on how to have your business be more aligned to who you are. So from tapping, sound healing, I talk about the nutrition piece. Some other people talk about finance and organization. It's really helpful for your entrepreneur people out there. So pick it up on Amazon. And then as far as me and getting to know who I am a little bit more, you can follow me on social media at Living Well with Kiki. You can also Google me, Living Well with Kiki, or you can go on my website at livingwellwithkiki.com. I offer newsletters that have health tips and recipes along with virtual cooking classes. So we do meal prep classes, theme classes. So my Valentine's Day one is coming up on the 18th, where we're going to do date night with fun foods to make. And I do offer some health challenges throughout the year too. That's all around getting people together in a community and just supporting each other on our habits. Because that's, again, at the end of the day, if we can get our habits aligned, then everything else will be a lot easier.
Wow, thank you so much. Why am I not in your newsletter? I'm not on your mailing list.
We'll make sure that, yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Kiki. I really appreciate you, and we will have you back. We know you're going to contribute more to Upwealth Magazine, and we will have you back. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good one. Bye.
Thank you. You too.